Welcome to the PhotoFacts podcast here at the Bedford Camera Store. This is the next episode.
The next episode?
The next episode.
It's always the next episode. I don't even know what episode we're on, right?
I don't either.
The Road to PhotoCon. Okay, I had to get that in there.
Yeah.
We should have some titles scrolling right now. In a galaxy far, far away.
Robert does a better job at the intros, but...
No, I do not.
Okay.
I do not. Does this lav make my butt look big?
Yeah.
Because we have no table. So I'm really trying to suck my gut in, so this will be a short podcast.
So we're here with Sonny Thomas.
Hey.
Right here. And we're going to talk to him about his career in photography.
Yeah.
And, starting a business, that kind of stuff.
Yeah. Thanks for having me, guys.
Yeah.
Oh, it's great. Okay, so we want to start off. Well, let's all look in that middle camera. That's the wide shot, okay? Jeff is pointing to the wide shot. Does anybody believe that Sonny looks like Al Roker off of the NBC Weather Channel? Jim brought it up, and I didn't think about it, and now I cannot stop looking at him.
I think he even sounds like it.
I am mesmerized. And he's wearing the jacket, the professional jacket.
There you go. There you
well,
go.
thanks for being on the show.
Thank you. I'm looking forward to the free gift that you give to all your guests.
Yeah, so it's just going to be a hug.
I was told it was a new Nikon camera.
Oh yes, it is, in a box. You're just going to get the Nikon
Just the box?
Yeah.
Well, we invited you here because Sonny has been a friend of mine for some time.
Yep.
And we've been to a couple of events together. And he recently told us that he started full-time this year.
Yeah, I started in April of this year.
Awesome.
I was doing it part-time for about 5 years. And this year I made the big leap to full-time.
So what made you want to make that big leap? That's a huge leap.
Well, it was interesting, just a couple of factors to that. As I was getting into photography, the business seemed to grow and grow, and I was getting more business as the years went on. And then this year, the place where I was working full time, they decided to do a reorganization in the area that I was in. So it made it a good time to make the jump.
That's great.
Yeah.
So the reason we wanted to have you here is 2016 is right around the corner. And talking about that, because you don't have it on your calendar already, Bedford's PhotoCon is going to be March 4th and 5th in Oklahoma City. Going to have some great speakers. And you're attending, aren't you, Sonny?
I am attending. I'm looking forward to it.
It's
on
great.
my calendar.
It's awesome. So with the 2016 year coming out, I know a lot of photographers are looking at the new plans for 2016. And I think that you're a perfect guest for this because since you just went full time and you've had some challenges and difficulties like everybody has when we transition. Mm-hmm. What were those difficulties you had during the transition? And we're going to talk a little bit about what you're going to do for 2016.
Yeah, I would say some of the, when I was starting out doing it part-time, my focus was just to get better at photography. Mm-hmm. And so I wanted to get better at Lightroom, at Photoshop, and I wanted to upgrade my gear. I would just buy what I could afford at first, get a little bit of money, and then upgrade and try to get better gear. And so that's what I was all about in the first 4 or 5 years of photography. And now it's transitioning. It's now I'm looking at it as I need to get better at business and running a business.
At the business side of the photography.
Yeah, I need to get better at marketing. And so, yes, I'll always continue to learn and improve my craft and improve my skills at photography. Mm-hmm. But I think the focus for this year is just to get better at running a business. That's really new to me.
That's awesome. And that's one of the hardest things I think a lot of people don't realize is that the business of photography is 80% business.
Yeah.
I mean, we spend so much time marketing, selling, showing to our clients, and there's only 20% of us actually clicking the shutter.
Right.
Yeah, and I didn't realize that. I just thought if I get better at photography, that the business would just come to me.
Oh yes!
You literally thought that.
I thought that. I was pretty naive. I was just thinking that, okay, I'll just get better and customers will talk to other people and then it'll just grow from there. But
that's not how it works exactly? Hang on, I better call Mercedes dealership and tell them to cancel those 2 SUVs I just ordered.
Yeah,
that can be a pretty difficult realization in business. Mm-hmm. Because we always think that if we become the absolute best photographers, that there will always be a client out there willing to hire us. Yeah. And while there are those clients out there, it's up to us to basically tell them that we're there.
Yeah.
And
how are they going to know
thing.
unless we tell them?
So one big struggle. So share with us one big struggle. Most of our listeners are in that beginner to intermediate state, and they could be looking at the transition going full time, or maybe even just doing a business from scratch. Maybe they're transitioning from, we don't want to use the word soccer mom, but I'm going to do it anyway. Who cares? But they're transitioning from soccer mom or basketball mom to, I think I want to do a little bit of business. Yeah. So what would be that one struggle that you got? I wish someone had said X, and it would have saved me hours of time.
Yeah, that's a good question. I would say that one of the challenges that I'm still struggling with is with time management. I thought it was pretty good with managing my time. And what I realize is I focus a lot on the day-to-day tasks. Okay, let's get this shoot done, let's get this edits done, let's get it out to the customer right away. And that's important to work on the day-to-day. But I was doing it at the expense of working on things that, like planning for the future. Like, okay, what should I be doing today in order to get business in January and February of next year? And that's been a challenge for me because I'm just focused on the day-to-day stuff of getting, I got to get this shoot done, I got to get these pictures to this customer today. I'm not thinking about how can I be growing my business.
Wow, that is that's all. Go ahead, Jim.
I was going to say, Robert tells me that all the time. It's true. I see it every month. It's like, I should have marketed better a month ago or 2 months ago. No kidding.
And some people are just wired that way, that they can think about the future things and are more futuristic like that. And I'm not that way. I'm more wired towards thinking about the day-to-day stuff.
Yeah, me too.
And so
I think a lot of us photographers are, and a lot of us are not good at the business part of it. I admit I'm terrible at it, and that's why we had talked before we started recording about the PhotoCon and wanting to learn more about business, having a business class there. That'd be great there. Yeah. I'm not sure if we're going to have a specific class, but we're going to have a round table or a panel discussion.
Right, there's going to be a round table discussion that Christian's going to lead, and we're going to have some industry leaders there and some local photographers. Don't want to mention any names yet because we don't have all the names of the panel firmed up, but there are some successful photographers on there that have studios in Oklahoma City, and they'll be able to answer those kind of questions that you and a lot of other people have. Yeah. I mean, trust me, I don't know everything, but what I don't know isn't really worth knowing. No, I'm just joking. So we're all struggling with that.
Yeah, and I think there is, for improving your craft, there are a lot of resources out there. There's YouTube videos. There's all sorts of classes that you can be taking.
Local camera clubs.
But you going to your local camera store.
Or PPA guilds.
Yeah, and I enjoy those, and I attend those, but it's like, I don't know if there's a lot on the business side of things, and so I'm looking forward to that roundtable discussion to be able to ask those specific questions.
Yeah, it'll be great. Business is a really hard thing. So I'm gonna just, basically throw one out here and see how you feel. Now again, this is completely just, you can be as honest or not as honest as you like.
Okay, I'm bracing myself.
Okay, brace yourself. Okay, so there's a lot of photographers in Oklahoma City, and I mean, if you looked in the metro area alone, I believe Tara Loki, that actually runs one of the luncheons and one of the online forums, mentioned one time, and Tara, if I get this wrong, somebody send me an email, that there was over 2,000 photographers registered with the Secretary of State as a business. Over 2,000 in the metro area. There's actually probably more than that. They're not even registered.
Right.
Do you feel, as a group, that there's a huge competition for clients?
Part of me thinks that way, but there's another part of me that I shouldn't worry about competition. I don't have any competition. All I need to focus on is me. I can't control other people and what they're doing. All I can control is me. And so if I start thinking about competition and other people out there, I think that's just a real slippery slope. And then I'll start focusing on things that I can't control anyway. So
that was pretty good. I like that.
So why bother with that? So yeah, there's a human nature to me where I think about that, but I try to catch myself and not think about that too often. Instead, I try to focus on how can I be the best possible photographer that I can be, and how can I be the best possible photographer to my clients.
That's awesome. I love that. Yeah, a lot of people know me. I'm a firm believer that competition in photography does not exist. Because we're focused on clients that are not focused on price. You're always going to have the price shoppers. That's always going to happen. They'll come to you and your 8x10 is $45. They'll come to Jim. His is $42, so I'll go with Jim because he's $3 cheaper. There's always going to be those clients, but those are going to be the hit and miss special clients that you can't build a long-lasting relationship. And that's why And just like you said, one of the things that we want as a business is to be able to forecast income and know that in 6 months I can pay my bills. So we're looking for those long-term, repetitive relationships with clients. And I really feel, from a client base, they're buying you as a person.
Yeah.
And if you are the person that connects with them and you can produce a reasonable, quality, valuable photograph, baby, they're going to come to you all the time.
Yeah.
If you can give them that customer service.
The experience of it all.
Right.
Yeah.
Right, the experience.
And I think competition is a good thing as well. It helps us all get better.
Yeah, it
And
does.
Oh, absolutely.
That's a good thing.
Right.
Yes.
Yeah.
There's that little thing where you try and like one up the next guy, and it kind of goes up and down. I think that's a healthy type thing, as long as, like you said, if some of you start focusing on it.
Right.
I think a lot of photographers in the beginning, they get caught up with well, I should be doing what Robert's doing right now. I've been doing this for 6 years, so I should be at so-and-so's level. And they're not. And they start comparing themselves to all these other photographers. And you're right, it's that slippery slope. Mm-hmm. And they just kind of go down, and then they just can't drag themselves out. They're all focused on what everybody else is doing. Yeah. So I think that's a great attitude to have.
I have a quick question. So you're speaking of business and all that. So I have to ask: are you? This is kind of blunt, but are you registered? As a business with the Oklahoma Tax Commission?
Yeah, I am.
Because that's very important, people.
Yes, let's ask that
better
on
pay,
the video.
Thank you for asking that.
You gotta ask. You gotta pay your sales tax, people.
Yeah.
Come on.
So am I doing activities that are illegal or not illegal?
Yeah, that's what you're basically asking.
Thank you for asking me that. No, I am registered with the state. That's one of the things.
I actually did that just for the listeners and the viewers, because if you're not, you got to do that.
Yeah, absolutely. And that was one of the first things I did right when I started doing photography. As soon as I started collecting money, there was some things I did. I made sure that I had insurance. I made sure that I was registered with the state and I was collecting sales tax. Once you start dealing with money, it ceases to be a hobby, and you need to be serious about it.
Yeah.
And so that's the approach that I took, and I think that's one of the good things I did when I was doing part-time, was I just laid that foundation right away.
That's right, great. Even if you're doing part-time, it's still a part-time business.
Right.
It doesn't mean that you're less professional than the guy that's doing it full-time. You're just dedicating a different amount of hours to it, is what I think. There's a lot of road warriors out there that have full-time jobs that are very creative and talented photographers that make a good side living in photography, and they may not want to go full-time. But dude, that's awesome. But nice ambush there, Jim.
Thank you.
But I will tell you this: I already knew the answer to the question because
me too. Yeah, but it was for the listeners.
Come on, he came to the interview wearing a jacket. Okay, check this out. All right, he is a pro man already. He has notes inside. He's just like, hey, what's that all about? Okay, so talking again, let's talk about 2016.
Yes.
What things are you pushing in 2016 to either change or modify or want to learn?
I think, as I mentioned, the things that I want to focus on more is marketing, learning how to market better, learning how to run the aspects of my business better. I think one of the suggestions that you've made in an earlier podcast is joining the Chamber of Commerce.
Yes, that's worked really good for Jim.
Yeah, and so I'll be doing that in this coming year, and I'm hoping to network more with others like that through that, and also through other organizations like PPA and the Metro PPA that we have here. And so I also want to I want to fully utilize the tools that I have available to me.
Oh my God, trust me, that's a good discussion right there.
Yeah, because like for example, I have a Kelby One membership.
Yes.
And so Scott Kelby does a great job with photo education. A lot of resources out there. I pay for this every year, but I hardly look at this stuff.
Right.
And so I'm spending this money on it, and these resources are right there at my fingertips. And so I need to be intentional about fully utilizing those resources. So I'm already paying for it, so I need to just set aside time every week or every month and just say, okay, I'm going to study this video. I'm going to learn this piece of equipment or this different aspect of photography. And the same thing with PPA. There's a lot of resources out there that PPA offers,
absolutely,
but that I don't take advantage of, and I'm paying for this.
And they're free.
Yeah,
they're included in the membership.
Yeah, so I'm already paying for it. They're free to me. So why not do it? So that's what I'm going to be working on more of, is just to fully utilize the things that I already have.
That's a good thing. Jim and I actually talked about this just last week.
I know exactly what you're going to say.
And
I was going to say it myself.
Okay, well, go ahead and say it yourself then. Please, jump in.
Okay, well, talking about utilizing the tools, well, And also, well, anyway, so we're gonna go through our list of bills that come out, and I've got a list, monthly bills that we don't
automatic withdrawals. Right in your account.
Yeah. We've got to get rid of some of those because we don't use them. And the other thing is, speaking of utilizing tools, Robert has always mentioned that he's got a garage full of $99.
Oh yes, $99. It will make you rich.
Right, it's like all this stuff that he doesn't use, and so yeah, it's.
But it's right. A lot of times we get caught up in that buy-in frenzy because we think, oh, if I just had this one item, that's going to be the key. That's going to open up my business. Yeah. And then you spend the $99, and maybe you didn't even read it, or it came in like, I've been too busy. I got to get these images out. I got to get this client stuff. So it sits in a box, and then. Okay, I'll tell you one of my secret stories that just happened to me just a few weeks ago. Okay. So we're cleaning up our home office. We decided to do a spring cleaning type thing. So it was very hard to get my girls, which are teenagers. My oldest ones actually moved out. Amber's in North Carolina. So I have my two little ones that are very wrapped up in their own personal activities with school, cheerleading, all kinds of stuff. So we decided, okay, we're going to break down to a great spring cleaning of the house. So I'm going to go through the office, and you had those little piles like, okay, this is important, but don't move that, and then this one's important, and then that stuff just kind of takes over. So we're going through all this stuff, and I'm like, okay, all this literature that I get from all these vendors, I'm going to go through, and if it's not relevant, I'm trashing it. Just because it looks pretty, I'm not going to keep it.
Right.
So I go through all this stuff. Well, here's this box, an unmarked box. Small, about yay big, no markings on it, and I thought, it's sealed up. Did I get a package and didn't open it? Uh-oh. What is this? So I open it up, and here inside the package, with the letter that goes to Nikon, is the busted flash that I broke last year. That I meant to send off for repair, and we have completely forgot about the flash. We assumed that we left the flash on location somewhere, and it's disappeared. So here it was all boxed up, ready to go to repair. So for over a year, I missed a tool that I could be using.
Wow.
Because I didn't plan. And I think I like the word that you said, intention. You have to create that intention to use the tools that you're paying for in your business.
Yeah.
And you have to make that intention to do better about marketing and to do better about collecting money. Have you ever done that? Have you ever gone on a job and they really haven't paid you yet? So you kind of shoot the session, but you feel kind of awkward about saying, hey, hey, you got to give me a check, buddy.
Now I don't feel as bad. Now that I've gone full time, and it's to feed the family, it's like,
it's a completely different story.
Yeah, I don't have a problem asking for money now.
No, it's probably a lot quicker. So, and again, back in the 2016, so it sounds like you're going to invest in yourself. So you found that, you've gotten to that point where the level of your expertise and skill set to deliver. Jeff won't let me have coffee while I'm up here speaking, so that's why I'm like tripping over my tongue. Jeff is our director, in case you don't know. Find him on Facebook. Aggravate him. I need more coffee. So when you deliver those images to clients, they're happy with them. So now you're finding that you're investing in yourself. I think that you are the most valuable tool in any business because you can't be replaced. You can't go out and buy another Sonny. Because if you do, I'd have 4 or 5 Roberts and it would be an awesome party. So,
and to add to that, also, we all are guilty of this. Take care of ourselves, like take care of your body. And hey, you feel guilty? Anyway, so I've always said if you have a candy dish and your candy dish is empty, you have no candy to offer anybody. So it's like if your candy dish is empty, you're.
Okay, so if you're going to start ragging on me to be healthy, we can't use the candy dish.
Did I mention Robert? I don't think I did.
Yes, you did, because you turned inside. You're feeling guilty. Yes, you did. It's on video.
Okay.
So you can't use that. You're going to have to use something like, I don't know, some kind of tasteless food item. So yes, I'm going to try and get healthy.
Well, you know what they say. Another illustration you can use is on an airplane, you got to put the oxygen mask on yourself first before you can put it on somebody else.
Yes.
There you go.
That's great.
So if you want
schooled by Sonny.
So if you want a non-candy illustration for Robert,
we can't use candy. That's gonna be bad.
Yeah. But.
Actually, when Jim was going through his his monthly list to try and see some of the tools that he's paying for. And, some of them are like $9, $5, $4.95. But there are some of those that you don't use. If you look at it over the year, that's $50.
Yeah.
I kind of started scrolling through mine, and I was looking at fast food joints. And it was like, oh, dude, I could have a new Nikon camera. But you know how it is. I think we get so focused on the task that we need to do now that it's hard to focus on what we need to do for the future.
Yeah.
And Jim and I talk a lot about the whole marketing thing. We try and push each other. We talk almost every day. And it's about, okay, what are you doing today to make money 3 weeks from now? Whatever you do today matters in 3 weeks, not today.
Yeah.
And that's a really hard thing to do. Just to share with our listeners, I think we might have brought up in some other podcasts, Jim and I really believe in email marketing. We feel that, in a new business, any new business, you have two forms of payment, time or money, and sometimes a combination of both. So I can either pay somebody to get me some leads, or I can pay with my own time to try and find leads.
Okay.
And the people that you've already photographed are easier to market to because they're already aware of you as a person and the quality product you put out.
Right.
So it's easier to 4 or 5 times a year. Obviously, we don't want to hammer them because we'll become, that kind of advertisers like, oh my God, Robert's selling another 16 by 20. I don't need that. But if you can market to those people you've already photographed over the time, it's pretty helpful. And one of the things we like to use is MailChimp.
Yeah.
Talk about MailChimp.
Yeah, that was one of my on my list of things to cut back on my monthly bills because I wasn't utilizing that to its fullest. So yeah, MailChimp's great because you can create separate lists, and I use that for my dog shoots. I have an iPad set up and I capture emails. I don't know if you guys do this at your events, but you can capture their email and name, and it goes to one of the lists that you specify at that event. And you can name it that event. That way you've got that list to market to. And then you can later, I later combine those into my main list. So yeah, and that's one of those tools that I don't utilize enough, but it's there and I can go and market to those people. So that's MailChimp.
Now hang on, let's talk about the not utilizing it, okay? Because MailChimp, I am still on their free account because it's free up to 2,000 email addresses.
Yeah, that's a lot.
That's a lot.
Yeah.
So, on average, industry standard talks about 10% and 1% rule. Like you'll send out 100 emails, 10 people will actually pay attention to it, and maybe one person out of that will actually click on the link and contact you. So with a 2,000, you're expecting to have at least 20 people contact you every time you do 2,000 emails out. I mean, if every time I sent the email out, I had 20 people contact me over a session,
Yeah.
I don't know about you guys, that would be a nice little extra boon in my pocket.
Yeah, I'll take that.
And he is actually well above that because he also does real estate photography. So he has all these realtors in his. So he's beyond the free account.
Yeah, and I just recently stopped that recurring payment because I took those people off because I'll have to do that another way because I don't want to pay the $40 a month.
Which is basically $500 a year.
Yeah, so.
That's right? So it's about trimming the fat in our business and kind of getting lean and mean.
Yeah.
It's like running that marathon.
Yeah.
We got to get off the couch first. How about, you like that?
I like that.
You like that? Like how that kind of segued in there a little bit?
Get out of the kitchen, too. Yeah.
Get out of the kitchen. Actually, mine is get out of the fast food line.
Yeah.
I have come to find out that, chicken McNuggets are good for everybody, from seniors to infants. It is the mystery meat that feeds us.
Did you catch that? Chicken McNuggets? I just wanted to
Are
point
we
that
going to
out.
go on this?
No,
okay.
we're not gonna go there.
Stop.
We're
You
not
already
gonna go-
started it.
We're not going to
You
go
started
there.
it. We're going there. Okay,
We only have 5 minutes left.
That's okay. We got 5 minutes. This will work. So when you go to the Golden Arches place, how do you
Say the
pronounce
name.
that word?
McDonald's.
McDonald's.
Oh, dude,
There's no A in it.
That's what I say, man.
okay. So
no
then, all
Mac.
right. So then, hang on 1 second. Their signature sandwich is not called the Big Mick. It's called the Big Mac.
Yeah, because it's spelled
McDonald's.
No, because it's spelled M-A-C, Big M-A-C, Big Mac.
That's because it's named after McDonald's,
No.
not McDonald's.
No. Anyway.
Go to Scotland.
Carry on. 5 minutes left.
Okay, 5 minutes left. Okay, so advice to our listeners out there. What pearl of advice could you pass on to them?
Oh, wow.
Either in photography or business. Something that is like, hey, do this, people, and you will succeed. Give us.
If I knew that, I'd be doing that now.
Yeah, for sure.
So,
Okay,
You know,
maybe something that you've learned that's a gem that you really it really pushed you or something. You know.
I think it's important to understand how you're wired, and to figure out what your natural tendencies are. And like for me, I'm not as assertive as I need to be. And if you're going to be a full-time photographer, you need to be assertive. And so that's something that I need to work on in this coming year, is I need to be a little bit more bolder in approaching people and talking to people, and not to be as timid. And so that's something for me that I need to work on. So I would say, for whatever it is for you, try to understand who you are, how you're wired up, and work on those areas that you might be a little bit weak in.
Okay, that was like absolutely incredible. I'm like looking at you going, oh my God, does he have this written down? Is he checking his notes? Because that was like on target.
Oh, thanks.
I think that's perfect for 2016. We need to realize who we are as a person, find our strengths and our weaknesses, and obviously exploit our strengths, and then try and make those weaknesses go away.
Yeah, and we'll never get as good in the areas that we're weak in. We'll never get as good. They'll never become a strength. But it's important to be aware of it and to work on it.
Yeah.
That is great. I love that.
That's
now,
great.
of course, we're going to have the Bazinga question.
Yeah,
gosh.
that's true. Yeah.
The Bazinga question is just something out of the blue that we pick out for our listeners. And don't worry, I'm not going to ask anything about any kind of sexy lingerie.
Thank you.
Okay,
Please
so
don't use the if you were a.
No.
Okay, good.
This is, we want to know something personal about Sonny. Because he made a comment of not being very assertive, I just want to bring this up. Sonny is a happily married man.
I am.
So what was the pickup line you used on your wife?
Oh, gosh.
Yes, come on. Lay us what that assertive was with your wife that made her say, I want to go out with you.
Here's what I'll say. I think it wasn't a pickup line. He just was standing there.
That's it.
And
That's
she came up and
exactly
said,
it.
Oh,
Look at this.
what? Right here.
She just melted.
Look at the Superman outfit I have on.
She melted, so I didn't have to say a word.
Yeah.
Oh, you're awesome. Where did you meet her at?
I met her. She grew up in New York, and so I had friends and relatives in New York, and so I met her out there.
Cool.
Yeah.
In New York. Really? Was it like near the NBC studio?
No, I wasn't like that. No.
Because now I'm thinking she was up there going, oh my God, did that look like Al Roker?
Yeah.
Oh my
there you
God.
Yes, I was auditioning.
That is awesome.
So hey, we have been happily married 21 years, and so
Congratulations.
That's awesome.
so she is awesome.
That is amazing. Well, listen, we really appreciate you being here and sharing some of your knowledge with us. And we look forward to seeing you at PhotoCon. And you can find Sonny at Daybreak Images.
DaybreakPics.
DaybreakPics.com. Follow his work online. You can find him on Facebook. You're on Instagram.
Oh, I am.
Because I see you on Instagram all the time. I
Yeah.
follow your work. It's awesome. Lots of shots from home. And then, of course, you can find Jim at jimfelderphotography.com. I'm Robert Trawick. You can find me at Trawick Images. The podcast is at photofactspodcast.com. And if you're one of our audio listeners, this is the end of the audio portion. Switch over to the video portion that Jeff will be editing later on this week to hear about a special code on how you can get a discount to PhotoCon in March. Take us away, Jim.
All right. Pick up. Yeah. All right. Next time, we're going to talk about, whatever. We're going to talk about some fun stuff. So stay tuned.
Oh, this wasn't fun?
No, it was fun, but I'm some on location stuff.
Okay, all right, Sonny, go ahead and do the little weather thing. Now you're go ahead, finish up. Come on.
And in the Northeast, we have some cloud cover.
Yes, thank you so much. You guys have a great day. We'll see you soon. Bye-bye.